Okay, folks, I apologize if this goes off prematurely and I have to redo it again. Or I have to split it into two parts because it ends prematurely at 15 minutes or so. Oh, God. You know, when Mystery Incorporated came out last year, well, not last year, but a few years ago, people were mixed about it. A lot of people liked it because it was a different, more grittier, darker tone and take on the Scooby-Doo franchise. Basically a more mature version that you can get into and you can invest in, no matter what age. Now, it's true that the ending of the show basically rebooted the entire universe they were in, and rebooted it to the point that it became a prequel to the original series run of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Now, despite people's differences about that, at least the show gave a lot of the characters a lot of good character development. Now, everybody has said that the Scooby-Doo franchise has had its variety of good and bad shows. Some say, looking back on it, that the Scrappy-Doo shows, the ones with Scrappy-Doo, were okay, but got annoying most of the time, especially when it was just Scooby, Shaggy, and Scrappy. So, with that said, with those being some of the, with those just being those three being considered some of the worst, with Scooby and Shaggy Get a Clue being considered the worst, you would think there's no way they would go back and ruin Scooby-Doo again, right? Well, that's where Be Cool Scooby-Doo comes in, because technically right now there's a lot of fan base, the entire fan base is down the middle about it. Because basically, it looks like you got the animators, the artists, the character designers of several shows working on it. You got people that have obviously worked on have obviously worked on Steven Universe working on it. You got people that have worked maybe on Adventure Time working on it, and maybe even shows like American Dad and several others, all working on this show. Now, they have said it looks like it's got some positive promise. One of the positive promises is the fact that some of the characters, like say Fred, is kind of back to being a blending of what he was in the early days of the Scooby-Doo franchise and what he was sort of in the early direct-to-video animated features and such. You know, he wasn't totally dumbed down, he wasn't like, oh, trap happy and all that, or oblivious to Daphne's feelings and some of the movies and even What's New Scooby-Doo and stuff like that. Or even in Mystery Incorporated till later on. You know, he wasn't oblivious to it. But at least the Fred that they got then, it looks like it's a mixture of what we get now. And Velma, of course, is still Velma. Shaggy and Scooby is still Shaggy and Scooby, maybe dumbed down a little bit more than necessary. But then you have one character. Who's very popular among the Scooby-Doo franchise. She's very popular. In fact, her popularity really soared when she got paired up with Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy. Her popularity has led to the fact that fans rather prefer having her be with Shaggy as a couple, and have seen that several of the movies at times have indicated that at least the Warner Brothers people, the animators on those movies, acknowledge that. But now, you get to Be Cool Scooby-Doo. Now, as I said with Mystery Incorporated, at least they gave the characters character development, and she was one of them. And yes, they did throw a bone to the fans that supported her being with Shaggy in one episode. They threw those fans a bone. And what character am I talking about? How about Daphne? That's right, Daphne. Whose head seems to be a little swiveled right now. But Daphne, yeah. Now you might say, well, what'd they do to Daphne and be cool? Well, in case you don't know, according to some fans, they have dumbed down Daphne to the point that, yeah, she's sort of back to being danger-prone Daphne in a sense, but more like danger-prone dumb Daphne, or danger-prone absent-minded, or danger-prone, or basically whatever you have around her, you gotta Daphne-proof it. Why? Because apparently Daphne is not just danger-prone when it comes to setting off traps, she's danger-prone to anything she touches. Now, that's not the only thing though. You see, apparently, according to a lot of fans by watching this, it looks like they have dumbed Daphne down. They've dumbed her down to the point that the only characteristic she now has is she has puppets. I'm not lying. The clip that they used that I saw had her doing a puppet thing with 4 puppet versions of the characters. She had, I guess it was 4, I don't know how she put Shaggy in there, or Scooby in there, but basically she had a puppet of Shaggy, Scooby, Velma, herself, and Shaggy. And how is she getting those puppets to operate? Using her hands, of course, but also using her freaking feet. Not even knowing that by doing this little play she's doing to try to get attention or whatever, she accidentally causes the mystery machine to roll backwards, and it takes Fred, who's prepared by Daphne proofing it, with his with his electric car keys, to basically transform it into a parasail popping out to make it land safely. It's like, are you serious? And then when they finally safely have it pulled in backwards into a gas station, you have the gas attendant going like, hello, and then you have Daphne bring up the Fred puppet going like, I know, I even did it, ha ha ha. And it's like, and suddenly she pulls it down, she pops up, and she's like, whoa, what'd I miss? And it's like, you take a beloved character, probably one of the popular characters, if not one of the top 3, along with Shaggy and Scooby. One character that they want to see with Shaggy, probably more than anything, and they probably look at this Be Cool Scooby-Doo as that opportunity now, and yet, through the previews and stuff, you pretty much dumbed her down. Now, I understand some people don't get that Daphne was fine the way she is. Daphne is what made Daphne Daphne. But when I look at not just her, but this entire show, the character designs, like I said, they might seem recognizable to you from those that have seen Steven Universe, that have seen Family Guy, not Family Guy, but Steven Universe, Gravity Falls, Adventure Time, you know, maybe even American Dad and shows like that. But it also seems like what they're doing with the show is, in the characters, is they're making them more toonified. And what I mean by toonified, I mean more like Looney Tune, Tiny Toon, kind of like personality designs. Well, with certain characters, that is. Daphne being probably one of them. And And why, you may ask? It just obviously seems like they're going in that route. Now, I could be wrong. I would not be surprised as Be Cool Scooby-Doo rolls along. Either it gains a following or it doesn't. If they have an episode where she sees a dreamy guy, or she fantasizes about something with her and Fred, or maybe even her and Shaggy, who knows, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up having her melt into a freaking puddle. Yeah, do the lustful milk egg with Daphne in Be Cool Scooby-Doo. Be the only way you could do it with her. I wouldn't be surprised if they have that in store. If they don't, then fine. Whatever. But come on, seriously. She's doing puppets with her feet. It's like, what more can you say? To me, that's what I look at with Be Cool Scooby-Doo. That it's more of a tunified version of what we've gotten before. A more tunified version, not a dumbed-down version, but more Looney Tunes, Tiny Toons, Animaniacs, that kind of show. That's what I look at. Now, some I know might say, well, Brian, don't judge a book just by what you see. Don't judge a book by the cover you've seen so far. And I'm not. But I'm just giving my opinion that I think Be Cool Scooby-Doo is exactly what that's going to be, and that if they would pull out any tunified tropes, cartoon-like tropes, like the lustful milk egg, they're going to pull it with her. I guarantee you something like that's going to happen, and if you don't believe me, that's fine. It probably won't just be this. They'll probably pull out the invisible girl trope with her and Velma, maybe, or a new girl. They might even pull out the submerge under the bubble bath kind of trope with her. Or just to make it funny, where she's like lying in a tub and all you see is her arms with little puppets sticking out of the bubbles doing all that. She's immersed under it. I won't be surprised if they do have that planned. I won't be. Because that would fit perfectly into this. Now, hopefully, this show does do good, because any Scooby show, with the exception of one or two, have done decent. Fans have gotten behind them. This one, again, is right down that middle. Will fans get behind it, or will they disdain it? You see, that is making me wonder what they have planned. Because in all honesty, folks, I don't know what to think when it comes to this. I really don't. All I can say is, just by the clip, and from what people are saying, to me, in my honest opinion, it looks like it's more of a Scooby-Doo show that's more of a Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, Looney Tunes kind of vibe to it. That's what I feel. Could I be wrong? Absolutely I could be wrong. But just by what they're doing with Daphne, the way the characters are designed, I wouldn't put it past them that down the line, she or Velma, whatever, do the lustful milk gag. I would not be surprised with that. I would not be surprised they do something where she's like under the water in a bubble bath or regular bath, and all you see is her hand sticking out with her puppets. I wouldn't be surprised by that. And I wouldn't be surprised by any of it. And again, that's just my opinion. All we can do is hope and see what Be Cool Scooby-Doo is about. So, that's just my take on it. That's my opinions of what I see coming, especially from the clip and everything. So, let me know what you guys think down below. And I'm out.